Okay, so hey there everyone. Recently I got a chance to be one of the testers for one of these Makeblock xLight U1 lighting kits. Basically one of these kits is meant to be a tool for teaching things like programming, and I got to review this thing as one of their early testers, and I figured the best way to make a video about this would be just to play with the items inside of it, because there's a lot in here that I want to unpack, and it's not perfect. Hopefully by the time this product is released to the public, you know, a lot of the things that maybe I'll come across in this video are fixed. But yeah, let's just get to it. Let's just jump into it and talk a little bit about what this thing is. So here we go. This is what it is, the Makeblock. So when you open up the box, these are the items that you get. You get the Makeblock itself. They call this thing here in the kit, what do they even call this thing? They call it the beech base. I guess beech is the name of the tree where the wood is made of, but it's basically just this wooden stand that you can insert these plastic plates into. It comes with this rainbow one, comes with a dinosaur one, and when you first unbox this thing and run it, there is some demo code in the device. This is the actual device that you're loading the code into to produce lighting effects, like what you're seeing here with the dino lighting up in a pretty cool way. This is their color combination called Marquee, but you can switch this thing out and you get one of these bases too. You can see how cool that is with all the different little grids. You could do a variety of little programming tasks with that, light that up in any combination you want. You also get this one. This is just kind of like a fixed base. You get this thing, which I've already drawn a little character on it. They give you this white little pen, and maybe I'll just go ahead and put some little whiskers on this cat, but their idea, I guess, is that you can sort of produce these plates that you can light up. And you do get this remote, and you get this little screwdriver, which is nice, you know, endearing and everything, because this is purely for just unscrewing the battery part of this. Unfortunately, you don't get a coin battery with this remote, but basically the idea is you could program the lights to interface with the remote and do things with it. This review is not going to use that or actually demonstrate anything with this because I don't have one of those coin batteries, so I'm just going to put this behind me. You then also get one of these things, and they call this the string LED. We will be playing with this a little bit. It reminds me a lot of what you'd get for Christmas lights, but these are RGB LEDs that can flash to any different kind of combination you want. And whenever you want to switch out the items, let's say that I want to move the beech base off of the xLight, you sort of just kind of pull that out. I believe it's very similar to what I remember, and it's been a while since I've done these hobby robotics projects, besides some of the robotics videos that I've done recently, but kind of a Grove interface, I believe is what you would call it. But here we go. You know, let's go ahead and try this out. And yes, you know, it just pops right in there. And this is also running the Marquee code from earlier, and look how beautiful that is. So you get this big string LED that can change different colors, and all of this will be programmable. I will be showing you that. But let's just kind of switch out this item, and let's throw in the other item they give you, because they do give you quite a bit in this kit. You do get this LED strip as well. This is you know, comes on one of these things that you can unwind. And in the code at present, not all the LEDs are being asked to light up. Again, I'm running just one of their base programs. But you'll see that this whole thing lights up, and that's pretty cool. Well, not these lights obviously, but you know, everything which the code is, you know, intended to light up is lighting up. You get one of these LED strips as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and just play with each of these items. Let's see what we can get it to do, and then maybe I can show you a little bit of the software and everything with this review. So I'm just going to shift these items to the side. And I think what I'm going to do to begin this review is I'm just going to go ahead and maybe play with this string LED strip. So let's go ahead and just move the beech base away, and let's go ahead and pop in this string LED and do some interesting things with it. So in the xLight, which is quite small, they do give you this USB cable as well. So this is just going to plug into the side of my Mac right there to interface with this device, and I'm just going to go ahead and plug that in. And then I'm also going to go ahead and slide in this Grove channel type connector. And let's go ahead and slide that in. Okay. Now to power on the device, what you need to do is you press this center button. So you just press and hold, and this is going to blink a few times. It does a little flash through of different colored lights, but this thing is now active. And afterwards, you do need to have some of the necessary software to start working with this thing. And that is what I'd like to show you right here. So I'm going to get a little closer, and let me expand out this screen a little bit. I do have some code running on this already. And those of you who have worked with Scratch programming, block-based programming, will be pleasantly surprised that the Makeblock software is very similar as an offering. So to connect the xLight, what you first need to do is you click this Add button right here. And hopefully with the camera, that's going to be obvious to all of you. When you scroll down, you'll see all their other products that do interface with their development environment right here. And then at the bottom, you're going to see xLight. And then what you say is okay. And the really cool thing about this, well, I already have one xLight in, so I'm going to X out the one I just threw in there. But the cool thing about this is that you can upload code directly into this device, and you can also run it in what's called live mode. And I think there's a lot of potential there for those of you who are teachers and who are maybe thinking about using this device, because it's going to give you instant feedback, running it in real time, for example, with the green flag clicked. So let's get to it. Let's actually put some stuff together. Already what I've done is, let's just kind of build this up in the beginning. Notice how I'm just deleting blocks by sliding it away. So I'm currently working with the LED string, so that is an option for me right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the LEDs to display one single color. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this inside a forever loop so that I can change this color dynamically and see that reflected in the color of lights. So then what I'll do is I'll just finish this off by putting in one of the green flags right there. Now to switch between live mode and the uploading into the device, which I'll demonstrate both for you, you click in the software between these two bottoms here, and you do get different block options. That's really important to understand. When I first started playing with this device, in the instruction booklet, it's not exactly going to give you anything related to instructions on how to program this thing and how to switch between the upload mode and the live mode. But let's go ahead and switch this to live mode. So we're talking about the green flag here. I'm going to click this bubble and I'm going to switch it to maybe sort of a yellow color. Let's go for that. And let's brighten it up a little bit. And what I have to do is I have to click connect to go ahead and connect my xLight device. So let's handle that. And there we go, everything's connected now and it turns off. But let's click the green flag now, and there we go. We've got all these awesome yellow lights. Pretty beautiful. And check this out now. If I click the color bubble and I just start sliding this, you'll see that it goes ahead and updates dynamically. So that's pretty cool. That's really cool, actually. Just to kind of see changes to your code be outputted directly from the device. And they do say that, you know, the live mode is best for debugging. I do agree, but yeah, it's just kind of cool, and I just wanted to show that right off the bat. Other blocks that we have in here are things related to which LED we want to turn off and on. We can change brightness. We could go ahead and get the LEDs to light up in a particular order, like this. Let's click the red flag and stop it, and let's just kind of bring this thing in right here. I'm going to sub those out. Let's click the green flag again. And look at that. What we have before us now are LEDs lit up exactly in the order we have here. And let's just change a few. Let's click this bubble right here and change this to a green. Let's change them all to green, like this. I'm going to change every single one of these bubbles that was once multicolored into green. And I'm going to say OK, and yes, we do have all of them green except for one white one right there, which corresponds with this white bubble right here. So again, very cool, and a nice little block here to represent different individual lights in a block-based graphical manner. And what I can do is I can click this too. Those of you who are wondering, if you want to light up more lights, you just have to click this plus sign here. You get 3 more bubbles that I could fill, for example, maybe with a pinkish color. Let's go ahead and try that. And if we click the green flag again, we do get it to update with those 3 pink blocks right there. So right away you'll see that, or understand the xLight as programmable lights with custom blocks built out just for it to make life easier for the developer obviously this device is definitely geared towards younger learners or younger hobbyists who just want to kind of get to play and not worry too much about like coding syntax, because you do have the blocks available that are somewhat intuitive. So I'm going to click this with a red light now to stop this whole thing, and let's try some of the other things here. So I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to sub out this device here for the beach base again, and let's explore some of the other things that I've done recently with the xLight. Alright, so one of the things that I was really impressed with right away was this really cool cutout of a dinosaur. So I thought to myself, I have to do something with this cutout of a dinosaur. It's way too cool just to have hanging out. So let's plug that thing in, and let's look at one of the games that I made recently with my work, and I'm looking for where I can unlock or find my stuff. So quickly just kind of perusing through, there it is, my projects. So in here I made a game actually based on this dino light, so it's going to load up, and hopefully it does load up soon. What's nice about the Makeblock software is that you can save your work just like you would in Scratch in a cloud-based portfolio, so everything can just be saved on the cloud for you and theoretically accessed right here. So we're just going to give it a little moment to load up, and hopefully it does. If it's not in a while, I'll edit this out and fix it up so we don't have to literally wait for all this time. So I made a game. I made a sort of a game that relies on some of the sensors on this xLight device. So there are actually two infrared sensors on the side of the device that interface with blocks. They're also used for distance sensing, so you have a variety of sensors on this thing. In fact, one of them is also a sound sensor, which I'll be demoing as well. But this game here that I made relies on the infrared sensors on this for distance. So let's go ahead and connect this thing up. So I'm going to click connect to connect my xLight in. I did have to restart the software, that's why I had to do that. Restart with connection into the software. And let's click this green flag to turn this on. So you do get the dinos as going and moving, and let's expand out the game screen now. Yes, I do have some sound. So the idea here is that I can raise my hand up and down, and that causes the spaceship to move. And every time it collides with a dino, we get this thing flashing red. So there's no real purpose in this game, and it doesn't always work. I must mention that with the coding of this thing, there is a delay between the actions in the game and sometimes it causing the effect with the lights to work. So I won't always crash into a dino, and this doesn't always turn red. But in the code it is intended to happen, and after a while it will result in a red light change. But the idea here was for me to show you how you can use the xLight to go ahead and cause this spaceship to move. The graphic of a spaceship to move in a program that very much resembles what many of us know as Scratch block-based programming, and then get this cool dino light to light up. So that's a project that I put together maybe last week, just to sort of prototype some of that stuff there. Let's close this up now, and let's take a look at another one of the programs that I have here. I'm going to go to my projects, and I'm going to open up something from 3 days ago. Let's go. Let's open it up. And let's say save. And this will save up the last thing. And in this volume indicator project, I'm going to switch the dino to actually the plexiglass of a rainbow. Or actually, you know what? In fact, I think this demo works best if we actually look at this one right here. So inside this plexiglass, it has these little slits here which help filter the light through it. So if I have it like this, everything's going to be green right off the bat. But let's go ahead and connect the xLight again. And let's see, it looks like it's working now. And let's go ahead and load this program in with the green flag. This time I do have two different scripts. One of them, if I move up to it, says when the nightlight starts. That would be, for example, if I wanted to upload something into this in a hard way. And I do want to show that as well. So I'm just preparing some things on my desk to show that, because that would be useful for if we were to unplug this device and want to have the code still running on it. Right now I'm going to click the green flag though, and let's test this out. So I'm going to clap a few times. Oh, we got to switch this to live mode. Forgot that. Okay, so now look at that. The green flag here in the code is lit up, and I do have some heavily nested if-else's in here to get the lights to light up. So this program is going to be a volume indicator that takes advantage of the sound sensor on the xLight. So as I make a loud noise, the idea is that this will actually have some red LEDs that light up horizontally. Otherwise, this thing's supposed to stay green. So let's try it out. Let's load it up. And even as I talk to you all, you can see that based on the sound of my voice, it's actually turning green. So it looks like actually the way I coded this is that the whole thing is going to be red, but as I talk, more of the lights turn green. So it's a volume indicator. And we could easily sub this thing out for the rainbow, but it's a little bit less clear, how it's moving, because this thing just causes the light to be divvied up in a more visible way than this. So that's pretty cool. Those are two little programs, and as an added bonus, what I did do with my volume indicator is I connected it with the scratch game. So you can see that this thing is moving up and down now in tandem with my voice, and also in conjunction with the light changing. So we have two types of feedback right here. We have the panda moving up and down, and we also have the light responding to that as well. So pretty cool. So let's go ahead and close that up. Alright, so what is the next thing that I want to show here? Let me think. Alright, a little bit of a block, so let's just kind of go ahead and stop that, and we want to get into now testing out some of the other stuff. Let's go ahead and just play with some of the blocks, and let's try out this thing. Let's try out the LED strip. This is one that I haven't actually used a lot. Oh, before I even do that, I want to show actually how this device here can have the code actually uploaded into it and actually work all the time. I've clicked the red flag now on the program, so you'll see that the green lights aren't moving anymore. But if I switch this to upload mode, and then I click upload, you'll see that the xLight or Makeblock software says it's uploading stuff. And if you want to do that, you do need to use a different starting point for your code. If I go ahead and look close, let me zoom in a little bit too. You have to use this block that says when night light starts up. That is based on me using this attachment with the xLight too. But what that allows me to do now is I can unplug this thing, and here's a battery pack that doesn't come with the xLight, but I just want to run this thing from it, so externally. So this isn't even plugged into my computer anymore, and I can just power this up, and it's going to do its light flashing thing. And look at that, now it's not even connected to my computer, but still has the code loaded into it. And I could go ahead and put this near my bed or something, or anywhere in my apartment, and have this whole red to green light effect continue to happen. So pretty cool. It is possible to deploy code onto the device and keep it there. So there's two modes for this thing, so well done there at Makeblock. Nice idea. So let's now go to the LED strip. So I'm going to unplug this thing now, and I'm going to switch this to the LED strip. Let's go ahead and plug this in, and it is a strange attachment if you try to go from the wrong end. And I have to admit, I haven't used this one very much. This is the attachment for it. Part of the reason is I've worked a lot with LED strips in the past, so they're not exactly as exciting as this cool beach base thing. But this is now wired up, and everything that you attach will, from the xLight to be programmed, will go into this square-shaped module. This is really sort of like the meat of the xLight device, even though it's very compact. So I'm just going to slide this in, and let's go ahead and turn this on. And we're going to have the code currently loaded in, which is the volume indicator one. And let's just go ahead and try and play with this a little bit now. I'm going to switch this into live mode so you can all just see what it looks like as I play with this device. So where to start? Let's go ahead and make a new program. So I'm going to say File New. It's been modified. I'm going to say Don't Save. I mean, I didn't really change it too much. So this is a new program for me, and it goes ahead and defaults to CyberPi as the default device. I will delete that. And then what I'm going to do is I will add the xLight as the device that I want to program. Alright, so I'm going to go down, I'm going to find the xLight, and I'm going to say OK. Alright, so what do I have as a plan? What I'm thinking is I'm going to go between maybe blue and yellow lights, and I want to take advantage of maybe the distance sensor on this. There is gesture control that comes with this device. I believe the way that it works is really by looking at the passage of movement across the sensors and the time intervals it takes. It doesn't work super well, so I'm not even going to demo that in this demo. I'll focus on the positives. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to begin by deciding that I want to program this in live mode. So in events, I'm going to drag in the green flag. Let's zoom in a little bit. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to grab a forever block to create a main loop. What I'll then do is I'll grab in the if else. And then what I'm working with, this is the LED strip. So what I'm going to decide on is I want to just keep it simple, and I want to use this patterning of lights, or at least this block that allows me to click on each of these and set maybe like the first LED way at the base of the device. That would be like, oh, look at that, it looks like it just kind of shut off there. Oh, the whole thing just turned off, so let me turn that on again. That would be this one right here. That's LED 1. So I want all these to maybe be a yellow color. So I'm just going to go ahead and make all of them yellow. So look how I'm doing that, just clicking across them. I'm saying OK, and I'll plop that there. I'll right click and duplicate it, and then I'm just going to set all the colors maybe to a red color. There is an easier way to do this. In fact, let's go ahead and show that as well. We do have a block that says all LEDs display one color, so let's go ahead and say that we want a light blue color or something like that. And now we have to fill out this if statement here with a block to take advantage of the sensor. That will be found in the sensing tab. So you can see what we have here. We have the microphone, we have IR sensor distance to obstacle, we have hand movement down. I've tested all of these, the gesture control and the hand movement stuff. It's okay. It doesn't work all as consistently as you'd hope it would. But what does work really well is this IR sensor distance to an obstacle. So let's go ahead and drag that in. I'm going to say that if the distance to an obstacle is actually less than, so let's put that symbol in there, that operator. So if the distance is, let's say, less than 10, we would expect that yellow color across those LEDs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 of them only. Okay, otherwise we'd expect every single one of them to turn blue on this thing. All right. So yeah, we have this in live mode. Let's give it a go. We have connected it already, I believe, but let's do it one more time. I often have found myself disconnecting and reconnecting the device to make sure it works. So just be aware that you may have to do a little troubleshooting with this. It doesn't always deploy your code right away. Sometimes you have to disconnect it first. So look at that, they're all blue right away. And as I move my hand in, it turns yellow. Alright, so pretty cool. I mean, we got that working very fast and very responsive as far as working with my hand as a sensor to basically change all these, and it uses this block-based code to do it. To finish this off, let's just take a look at the plate where you paint, and let's just talk about some ideas there. They give you this pen, and they give you this plate, and yeah, maybe you could create something where there's a game and you have to draw like the answer on the plate and then project it with a certain color. I'm not really sure, but let's just kind of finish it off with this item here, because that's the one that I really haven't shown yet that has some potential, I think. You know, if you get creative with it, you could even paint this with paints and then cause something to the effect of one of these vertical strips that section off light. You could paint this in a way that it only lights up across certain lines if all of your paint was a dark color and you only left gaps. Hopefully that's a good explanation of an idea for those artistically inclined. But let's put this in right here. I'm going to slide that in, so you can definitely see that they do slide in really well. And it's blue right now, but if I move my hand in close, it does turn yellow. And we have this cat that says hello there. So my opinion of the xLight is I think it's a great idea. The idea of teaching programming or learning programming or just having fun with this like I am on your desk using the block-based style of coding to get this to light up is really enjoyable, and I think there's a lot of opportunity for this device. So do check this thing out. The xLight U1, hopefully to be released soon. Tons of items in here, tons of possibilities. A really cool little interface. and hopefully something that will get a lot of you enthusiastic about learning coding and producing some projects. So thanks for listening to this review. And to finish this off, let's just stop this thing and let's go ahead and put their marquee light strip on here. So I'm just going to go ahead in here and I'm going to grab, I'll work with the night light. So let's switch this out and let's say that we want it to play the marquee. Slide that in. Let's click the green flag and there it is. Makeblock xLight. Take care everyone. Thank you again.